Hello everybody, welcome back to the Panel by Panel Comics YouTube channel with me, your host Jay. Today is my top 10 comics I pulled for the week of April 15th, 2026. First, if you guys enjoy comic book content, I post nearly daily, so hit that like and subscribe button for comic book content on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and shorts all throughout the week. But guys, some notable comic books coming out that I did pull but didn't make my top 10. We have Nightwing issue 137, Racer X issue number 6, Redcoat issue number 17, and then Catwoman issue number 86. Starting off my top 10, we have The Thing on the Doorstep, issue number 3, 32 pages, $4 for this comic book. This is a very different Edward returns from Europe. We saw at the end of issue number 2, Edward was leaving for Europe, and he's kind of suckered into this demon who's his wife, and they go on these trips, and she's very demonic. It feels like she's sucking the life out of him, like he's her life battery in a way. That's the vibe that I'm getting, but it looks like to witness the awful rituals in impossible places, he tries to convince Daniel of the danger ahead. Something strange takes over him, something sinister. In the coming months, Edward's condition deteriorates before Daniel's and Claire's eyes, culminating in a rescue from a distant town. But halfway home, just who has Daniel got in his car? Interesting premise, and I can't wait to read it this week. It comes in at number 10 on my top 10 upcoming comic books. Coming in at number 9, we have New Titans, issue number 34, 32 pages, $4 for this comic book. We saw in the previous issue the jumping on point for Tate Bromble's new run with the Titans. Nightwing feels like he's trapped in this Groundhog Day type of effect. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. But then he recognizes it, stops drinking this coffee, which is kind of the source of what was leading to these recurring just events. It feels like the same storyline every single issue, I guess, or every single day. And at the very end, we see these new Titans burst through the comic book, and they are probably there to help save them. I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm very interested to see if these are like actual heroes, or are they manifestations from a different villain that is trying to get at the Titans. Interested in it. I've enjoyed the first issue for Tate Bromble's new run. We'll see if I enjoy his second. Coming in at number 8, we have Narco. This is issue number 2, 32 pages, $4 for this book. We come back with the character of Marcus, who suffers from narcolepsy, and whenever his blood pressure reaches a certain limit, I think it was like 200 BPM, which is absolutely insane, he passes out. And at the very end of that issue, it came back in a big way because the girl across the hall that he has this massive crush on, he was about to go on a date, all of a sudden she's murdered. And as the event is happening, she's like asking him, please help me, please help me. And Marcus is just passing out because his blood pressure got so high in the form of narcolepsy he passes out, and he doesn't know what happened after that. He saw a shadow figure, but no clue who it was. Now, this is kind of a mystery because he likes to kind of just hang out and check in different areas, but it says that he's handcuffed and trapped in an interrogation room. Marcus becomes the prime suspect in a brutal murder he's sure he witnessed. The cops won't believe him, and his narcolepsy isn't helping. Clearing his name is only step 1. Step 2, finding the real killer before the real killer finds him. Such a good premise for this. I've loved the first issue so far from Doug Wagner, and Daniel Hilliard has done a good job on the art. I am looking forward to this so much. I'm about to sneeze. It comes in at number 8. Number 7, we have part 8 of 9 of the Death Spiral event. This is Venom, issue 257, 32 pages, $5 for this comic book. At the end of the previous issue, we saw Carnage / Torment. They're teamed up together, and now they've bonded, and they're going after Aunt May at the Feast Center. It looks like Peter, specifically in this issue, MJ, Venom, is going to go after Carnage / Torment and make sure that nothing happens, and that Aunt May and her aunt as well, Anna Watson, are perfectly fine. And that's going to be part of this issue, the main core of it. Will Spider-Man and Venom save the day, or will MJ and Peter's old wounds create a new tragedy? I also did think that Aunt May could die at the end of this little Death Spiral event, and that could lead to Peter being bonded with Aunt May, and then with the stuff that looks like what's coming afterwards with a more hardened more ferocious type of Spider-Man who looks like he's going to go through a really tough time. Really looking forward to the after effects of this Death Spiral event, but that is part of the reason that this Venom issue is so high up for me, coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have a next level book from DC, Deathstroke the Terminator, issue number 2, 32 pages, $4 for this comic book. Someone's taken everything from Deathstroke. His money, his kid, his kid was kind of his fault. It was really his fault. But his butler, who was his like go-to guy, like his Alfred in a way. Someone's taken everything from Deathstroke, and hell hath no fury like an assassin scorned. He's on the road to find a mysterious client, but it won't be easy. He's lost his money, his resources, his family, and his best friend and moral compass. What happens when the world's most terrifying assassin has nothing left to lose? I love that premise. I think Tony Fleecs is going to do a great job with a character like Deathstroke, who is so overpowered, and he kind of gets thrown into this category of he's cool, I guess. This could really put a spotlight on the Deathstroke character, and I think Tony Fleecs can do a great job with a Deathstroke that has no limitations, but he'll probably get some whenever he finds a bit of his connection on the inside. So Deathstroke the Terminator comes in at number 6 on my countdown. Coming in at number 5, we have Lobo, issue number 2, another DC Next Level book. This is 32 pages for $4. We saw at the end of issue number 1 from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona that this is going to be a Lobo series fixated on a reality TV show. And it's interesting, it's comedic. Lobo's great and gruesome and terrifyingly powerful because he is so much of a loose cannon. You never know what's going to happen with Lobo. He could end up killing everybody he sees, or he can just bond over a beer. And he's a goofy character that is super strong. Also has a weird moral compass in a way, because sometimes he makes the right choice, but a lot of times he doesn't. He does a lot of things for himself. He's a selfish character. I tend to like selfish characters in comic books, at least for the superhero side. We'll get to a selfish character later on in this top 10. But Lobo, issue number 2, comes in at my number 5. Coming in at number 3, we have our final Image comic book and our final independent. This is G.I. Joe, issue number 21, 32 pages for $4. Not coming in as high as it typically would, because this looks like a one-off book. We're going back to Storm Shadow and Scarlet whenever we saw them back in that Scarlet miniseries way back at the beginning of the Energon universe. The Arashikage and Cobra have met once more. Prepare for round 2, and will G.I. Joe be forced to put a stop to it? We know that they are technically wanted, both Scarlet and Storm Shadow, specifically Scarlet. She's wanted by the US government, and maybe Zartan, who is in control of the general right now, will send the G.I. Joe in and use this as an opportunity to maybe get them trapped into that society with Cobra, and then you can just see what happens from there. I'm liking the story creation here, getting Scarlet back in with the G.I. Joes. That comes in at number 4 on my top 10. Kicking off the top 3, we have our last Marvel book. This is Alias Red Band, Jessica Jones Alias Red Band. 32 pages, $5 for this comic book. This is titled The Odd Couple. Jessica Jones has begrudgingly partnered with Typhoid Mary to investigate grisly murders plaguing Hell's Kitchen, but an interrogation of one of the murderers leads them to a hidden third culprit pulling the strings. Can Jess and Mary set aside their differences before they become the next targets? So this is a series focused on Jessica Jones, and she's not able to be a PI because her husband, Luke Cage, is the current mayor of New York and Hell's Kitchen, and they got into an argument in the previous issue, and it was pretty bad. A lot of it is fixated on Jessica Jones not feeling like she can be herself right now because her husband is the mayor. He said that she can't be a PI, and that's what Jessica Jones loves. She loves being able to solve these murderers and bring people to justice, and she's not able to do that. And the only way that she's able to right now is because of Typhoid Mary. Those two are sure to buckle their heads sometime soon. But Jessica Jones, Alias Red Band, comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have a DC Vertigo book. This is End of Life, issue number 3. And we're going to get Big Cock. That is going to be like the villain, the battle for Eddie in this issue. If you haven't been following along, Eddie Stallion is probably the biggest prick in comics, but you love to hate the guy, and you want to see a positive outcome for him where he's less of this selfish, obnoxious prick and becomes a caring person that has compassion for people rather than thinking everybody's stupid and I'm just the best, most perfect person on the planet. But this is revolving around him. He tried to pull a robbery, and it turned out that he was doing it on his boss for this, I think it's Mirage, basically a coalition of people that wore like these masks on their head. You had Raven. We're going to get Big Cock in this issue. It goes all over the place, but who could have given up Eddie's secret where he was? Well, we know that in the issue number 2. Or is Big Cock here for another purpose? Whatever the answer is, it's obviously all Eddie's fault, and now the whole town is in danger. Oh, and it gets worse. Deep within the confines of the abandoned Rongdong Park, Richard Smiley is working on a plan to take Eddie down and tighten his criminal grip on the town. Can't wait to read it. This has been a tremendous series from Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh. Can't wait to read it this new comic book week. But coming in at number 1, my biggest, most anticipated upcoming comic book for the week of April 15, 2026 is easily Absolute Batman. This is issue 19, 32 pages, $5. It's a new debuts, new villains, new arc. It starts here. This is going to be on my buy or sell because it is a new arc, and how can I not talk about Absolute Batman within the first 2 days of it coming out? And how can I not read it, because this is going to be a great, great series. By the way, guys, when my buy or sell comes out, that's going to be a tough one because I am going to Vegas next week, so there might be a little bit of a scheduling conflict. But going back to this Absolute Batman issue, Poison Ivy just proved to be one of the many horrors within the bowels of the Arkham facility, and as Joker sets his sights on Absolute Batman, he decides to enlist the help of one of the center's most terrifying doctors, Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow. While Bruce Wayne tries to align himself with Barbara Gordon, there's more than one alliance formed in this issue, basically signaling Batman's going to get some help with Barbara Gordon, who's a police officer right now. They kind of have some banter because Bruce Wayne doesn't want to see Barbara get hurt, but he also appreciates the help because nobody else is helping him. And then Joker going to form that alliance with Scarecrow, basically forming his own little goon tirade. He's got Bane. I'm sure he'll get Poison Ivy. You have Mr. Freeze. Now you're going to get Scarecrow. I mean, there's such a big toolbox for one of the best writers in all of comics right now, Scott Snyder, to play with the Batman character in this brand new universe. Joker's terrifying whenever he's actually being serious. We always get terrified of him probably more whenever he's more maniacal and laughing all the time. But seeing Joker as this stoic person who we've seen what he can transform into, it's kind of terrifying. And that's why it's the best book going on right now in all of comics. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below what your number 1 comic book you're looking forward to the most is on this upcoming new comic book day. But guys, remember to keep reading those panels, panel by panel. And I hope you guys have a great... I think I said reading those panels, panel by panel. Whatever. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.